The Blockchain Founders Fund focuses exclusively on adding value to blockchain and emerging technology projects with real-world applications. It aims to help entrepreneurs and people who are interested in the blockchain industry. And with me is managing partner Aly Madhavji to explain a little bit about the Blockchain Founders Fund. So let's just start. You've been at the forefront of Web3 for years. Most people just kind of got on the radar screen in the past year or so. I mean, give us an overview of the Blockchain Founders Fund.
Absolutely. So we're a leading venture capital firm in the Web3 space. We're investing in companies very early, typically pre-seed and seed stage as our first checks. And our goal is to support founders to, help them achieve their vision of solving some of the biggest problems in the world that, can be solved with Web3.
Yeah. And then, so we've seen a market downturn this year. It's been crypto winter, so to speak. I mean, how have you navigated that landscape? I mean, how is BFF performing?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been challenging. We've seen a lot of VCs that were backing companies in the bull market at $500 million, $1 billion, even bigger numbers that have taken massive down rounds. I mean, on these companies. I mean, you've seen startups, that are now cutting their valuation significantly, and they're having cash challenges. I mean, you're seeing a lot of this, in the news. I think the big difference for us is we come in at the start, right? So we're backing these companies very early. We're typically first checks into these businesses, and then we're helping them to navigate this landscape and helping them to sort of pivot and sort of operate, in a more turbulent environment, helping them to be even more leaner than they were before. And that's actually been a really big advantage. And so we've actually been able to see quite a few of our companies bucking the trend, doing really well, still raising quite large rounds, bringing in some of the most well-known traditional investors in the world into their rounds. And so this has been a pretty interesting and beneficial spot that we're in, because we're still benefiting from coming in early. And while there still is a lot of capital later on, it's just more selective. And so we're able to tap into that.
Yeah. Now, a lot of the founders say they have trouble getting in touch with VCs and hearing back from them. And the whole fundraising part is difficult. I mean, are you still actively investing?
We are, yeah. So no, we're extremely active. I mean, we've all been on our team founders or part of startups in the past. And so one of the things that is, we understand how it is to be a founder, and it's not easy, right? I mean, even in a bull market, I mean, it's still not easy as a founder. In a bear market, I mean, you're getting no after no after no from VCs, or oftentimes you get ghosted by VCs you don't even hear a no. And this is a complaint from a lot of founders. I mean, I've been through this myself as a founder. And so one of the things that we do is our goal is to respond to every single startup that reaches out to us or that we talk to, and then we actually go and provide a lot of value. We're actually more active than ever before. We're actually doing about 4 deals a month right now, which is quite high for a VC. And the big part of this is just making sure that we're able to then support our founders and then help bring other great partners around these companies.
And what are the areas in this industry that you're most excited about?
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things, I mean, over the last 5 years, obviously, blockchain has come a long way. There's been a lot of sort of major sort of developments. It's been, we've got everything from, DeFi to NFTs and all these things that people are hearing about. But there's a lot of gaps in these areas that need to be solved in order to make these technologies really go mainstream and solve sort of a lot of problems globally. I'll give you an example. There was a recent report from Galaxy Digital about NFTs, and if you take the top 25 NFT collections, only one of those 25 actually have IP rights that are attached to it. And everyone is sort of under the assumption that IP rights are attached to all of these. So this is a very big problem, right? And so if you start thinking then about, companies that can help solve IP challenges in this space, it's a big opportunity. If you take, a lot of people now own digital assets or have sort of experimented with it, tried it out, maybe their kids have it, things like this. And, what we're seeing is, most people have not figured out a solution of how to transfer it to their loved ones if something were to happen to them. And this is a big problem. And so if we look at this and we say, well, almost everybody is going to lose their crypto if something were to happen to them, if they were to pass, et cetera. Well, we need to have solutions that are fully digital on chain that can solve these problems. And so we've got 25 open sub-thesis right now where we're looking for companies actively that are solving some of the biggest problems that are out there, even when people aren't talking about them, even before it's a trend or sexy for the market. But we're out there trying to back founders to really build out and solve some of the biggest problems out there.
Okay, thank you so much. Very interesting. Thanks.